So what now? Is there anything solid for my gaping mind to bite down on? Or do I just drift anchorless? I wish I didn't feel the need to envision life without meaning. But if a symbol doesn't know what he symbolizes, or that he even is a symbol, what does he really know? I'm not satisfied with stopping there and accepting ignorance. The boy on the piano rejected that there was any such thing as real beauty. The surgeon in the dream rejected that there's any way things really ought to be. Both are fools, not because they're ignorant, but because they prefer to be. I sometimes recall a particular memory of a literature class I took in high school, which illustrates the exact problem I face. In this class, we were studying a piece of poetry. It wasn't very long. There were only about 3 stanzas with a few lines each. What stood out to the class more than the structure was that every stanza had some word blacked out. Looking closer at the poem, it wasn't hard to guess that it was the same word being blacked out every time it appeared. Blank is like the smell of rain. Then, in the next stanza, blank is an owl howling curses in the night. And again, blank is as the crunch of leaves underfoot. This was no insignificant piece of the poem missing. The title of the poem was the same word, also blacked out. Reading through the poem, the only hint at what it could be was the rest of the metaphors and similes that would follow it. In poetry, the metaphors and similes used to describe an idea only make sense because the reader can take what he knows about the symbols and apply it to what they're meant to symbolize. The meaning of the symbol and the symbolized is enriched by the comparison. But the author places the symbol in junction with the symbolized in order to draw out some similarity, some analogy, that makes the symbolized known in a deeper sense and makes the symbol's purpose in the passage clear. Without the symbolized, like the word in our poem, the symbols, the metaphors and similes, don't have a clear reason for being there until we know what about them is specifically meant to symbolize the subject, the word. In other words, our whole poem's meaning was hinged on this single word. And what is the word? I was definitely curious myself. There's a sense of mystery around it. I wanted the word to be revealed so the rest of the poem's significance could click into place. Well, what the teacher told us was that there simply was no word. If you could reverse time and see what the poem would have said before the word was blacked out, you'd find that every blotted space was always empty to begin with. In the beginning, there was no word. I felt cheated. The metaphors and similes that exist in that poem are there for literally no reason, except to make that exact point. Finding out there was no real meaning was a frustrating experience, but I think this poem shows what I've been trying to articulate all along. I don't think life is meaningless. But if I don't know what everything is supposed to symbolize, I think I basically end up saying it's meaningless anyways. When I wasn't told what the metaphors in the poem symbolized, maybe I had hope that they would have some real significance. But because I didn't know what the significance was, I couldn't really say that they signified anything. Is that any different from where you and I are now, knowing they mean nothing? Only our hope for a satisfying answer is gone. So is the difference between those of us who don't know what the meaning of everything is and those of us who have decided that there is none, just blind hope, a leap of faith. And when the curtain's torn down and the body's opened up, is there just going to be nothing inside?